When you get there, they need to get out, but you could have negotiated like a 4-hour.
You could say that you're going to move out. I'm still going to put the sticker on the door. You're evicted. You're the guest of the landlord at that point.
So my question is, how do they get their stuff? Like,
They have to start moving right then. They have 4 hours to get out.
But even if they didn't, if you said you're out right now and you blocked the door,
They have 7 days to contact the property owner to come back and get their stuff at a scheduled time that the property owner sets up at the property owner's discretion.
Are you guys there?
Yep. We're out arresting people. You can hire a detail officer from the PD, or if you're really concerned, again, you can hire a bonded mover and move to a bonded storage facility. But it would have to be a pretty, I've only seen that with like sovereign citizens and stuff that they've done that. And a lot of times they just want to get, so a lot of times the problem is they just want to get a few things and they leave all their junk. And the next day you see, here's Rent-A-Center for the couch that's broken and the bed and this and that. So we're really good friends with Rent-A-Center.
I've done a couple dozen evictions. It's me that always the scariest part is going back at the coordinated time without the sheriff to let this person in, and then going back after to make sure that they're out to lock it back up. That's a really scary.
And when you go back, you can call the police and say, hey, could I have a car to stop by and walk me through? And they'll do that.
Yeah, in a couple hours.
Yeah, in a couple days. Sadly, that's true. That is true.
Mike, some of us have landlord software do background checks.
Yep.
You know, they check eviction and criminal background. Are those legitimate? Are they actually checking, or?
I would ask where they're getting their information from. Because if they're not getting it from the court, how do we know it's valid? You know what I mean? If it's not coming from the court, and again, there are companies out there that do that will do that for you.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have this run? And I want to screen this tenant and go from there. But anything online that you don't have any proof of, I don't know how they're getting those records from the court unless they're filing 91A requests every week for everything.
So Ryan, do you use a software that does the online background checks? What do you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I use that Folio.
So what that company must do is contact the court system and say, I would like a copy of all of the eviction proceedings that have transpired in the last 30 days. And if they never, just the names and stuff, they can print that out and get that. I would just ask, where are you getting your information? Because if they're like in Seattle, what's your recourse, you know?
All right, we've got time for one or two more questions. I saw one back here.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. I have one follow-up question. Is once the tenant has been evicted and the rent has been served, you ask to stick around. How much time do you have to get the possession out at property owner's discretion? Like, do we give them 2 days? Say, okay, these 2 days I can meet with you, but I cannot meet with you every single day after the 7 days?
Oh, that's a perfect question. Perfect question. They get one shot. You have to give them a reasonable amount of time to get their stuff. You don't need to end your day every day, go back every day to let them get their stuff. You set up a block of time that is reasonable to get their stuff out. You don't need to go back every day. They've got 7 days from the day we do that eviction. That's it. There's no going, you don't need to go back every, can I just get this, can I get that? If you want to be nice and say, yeah, I'll let you in, but, you know, when are you going to come back, this and that, that's totally up to you. But they can't, you know, I need to come back again today, I need to come back, I forgot my medications. Because when I do the eviction, I'm telling them to take their pets, their medications, and their car keys. And if they got kids, I'll change the clothes for the kids. There you go. Because if they have the medication, they're not coming back.
And minimum one. Of course, we want them to take all the stuff because we don't want to use the dumpster.
Yep.
You know, but so if I give them like 3 times that I'm in, that should be more than.
That should be more than Your Honor. If they actually went to the court and said they didn't let them get my stuff, it'd be, you know, Your Honor, I did on these dates here. I let them back in. What more do I need to do? But all they need is a reasonable amount of time to get their stuff out. And again, they're going to leave you with the stuff they don't want.
I might have missed something, but I've delivered that demand for rent and the eviction what's the next step? I can't, I don't have a phone to get in touch with him. He's a good kid. He just lost his job, but he's not paying rent. How do I go from delivering the papers to actually, what is the next step after that? Do I make a phone call? Do I have to call the police, call the court system? What is it?
No, you're gonna go to the court with the paperwork you served, copies of it, and you're gonna say, I served this on this date, and you're gonna get the landlord-tenant written, you're gonna bring it to the sheriff. What county?
Hillsborough.
So you bring it to our so you bring it to our Goffstown office and say, after you go to the court, so you're gonna go, where town do you live in?
Where?
So this is court where? You know the toothbrush was invented where? Any other town with a toothbrush?
But I know you talked about the NHREIA.
Yes. I live in Ware. I sadly live in Ware because Mrs. Maryfield demanded it. But all you gotta do is bring that paperwork down to the court. They're gonna give you the landlord-tenant writ, and you're gonna have us serve that. When did you serve that paperwork to them?
August 30th.
How many days did you give them?
3 days what?
That's you're well past. You could have gotten that writ last week.
Yeah, but a carpenter, I'm not sure.
Two nights. Go down. Get them out.
All right, great. We got time for one more question, and then Mike,
Thank you,
can you be
Mike.
hanging out for a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So if you want to ask Mike a question privately, feel free to.
Do you have delay back when there was COVID? There's a ton of delays for evictions. When you get a landlord writ or you get a writ possession, what's the amount of time that we should expect before you can get out there and do your thing?
When you actually get the writ of possession,
Yes.
we're going to be out there within 7 calendar days, if not sooner. Because again, we do Manchester, Nashua, and 29 towns, and there's only 15 of us. So we're going to be out there within a week to get it done. We're going to give you a notification here. We're going to be here on this date to get it done. Don't tell the tenant. It'll get done pretty quick. During COVID, believe it or not, when it got lifted, we didn't have a major backlog because people were getting their rent paid by the federal government. So there wasn't a huge backlog, thank God. But our income tax is probably go up. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Great.